I got into medicine because my father died very young, and I thought I was going to make a difference in medical care if I did. I came here about 26 years ago, and I was appointed as an associate professor of medicine. I had an opportunity to be a lot of places, so I did have a flavor of what other places had. It wasn't I only spent my life at Duke. I think Duke really represents in its best what Dr. Stead and Dr. Sabiston, the surgeon, meant, that it was an opportunity where patients came first and that one could pursue new ways, new approaches without a lot of restrictions by the administration, etc. And it was an attitude, a can-do approach that one felt that was present in the Department of Medicine, where I was, and actually also in the Department of Surgery, and those actually interrelate to one another, so having those both there was very important. And that kind of leadership that was there in those early days really had a marked effect on the people that we recruited and the atmosphere of the teaching that went on. And I think that was the greatest advantage that I found being at Duke versus the other places, which are good medical centers, but don't have that history and have that atmosphere in which to work. In oncology, I think my major contribution has been sort of more diffuse. That is, one, that of teaching. I've tried to instill the principles of excellence in patient care, to be thorough and to be complete, and to remind ourselves that we need to know correct answers before we move ahead and treat people. Secondly, that the patient is the most important product here we're dealing with, and we need to be sure we don't get ourselves locked into the clinical situation and put ourselves before that, ourselves being the doctor, by the way. And thirdly, I have had the privilege of working with a number of people in clinical research studies and being involved with new drug development, both in a number of different cancers. And I think that's been very exciting and continues to be an extremely optimistic area these days, with new drugs coming about that can have huge effects on patients without the adverse effects. My wife's name is Dorothy. She is a beautiful and wonderful woman. We have 4 boys, aging from late 40s to, I guess, early 30s. I do have grandchildren. My wife reminded me that there are 8 of them, so I have to keep this right. And they're all very young still. The oldest one has just turned 12. But we're very happy to get to see them and be part of their families. I wasn't sure I wanted to retire, but obviously because of the clinical end, the PDC, the Private Diagnostic Clinic, has a 70-year mandatory retirement age. So I decided then, talking with a number of people, that I needed to figure out something to do intellectually as well as otherwise. So I took a part-time job with a clinical research organization here in the Triangle called Novella Clinical. This is a company that develops trials to advance drugs so that they can get FDA approved. And that allows me to use my past experience in medical oncology to help apply that to clinical trials. And I found it extremely exciting and actually stimulating. My other part of the time is a long to-do list from my wonderful wife about all the things I should have been doing around the house over these years to kind of keep it up and repair a few things and do a few things to modify the house. And I'm doing that, and I enjoy that. It's sort of physical work. I used to do a little bit when I was working full-time at Duke, but I never seemed to have enough time to do the job completely and very quickly. So I have a little more time now, and it's fun to do.